Hi there, Miss Jennifer here, and I guess you can probably imagine which day this is, as this is our art project for today. And yes, it is St. Patrick's Day. So St. Patrick's Day is based on the St. Patrick who went to Ireland to convert the people to Christianity. So that is the basis of the legend, but now it's celebrated by people all over the world. And this is a picture of a pot at the end of the rainbow. So I thought this was super fun and easy to do. So we're going to do this for our art project today. We're going to start out by doing some learning. So let's get a piece of paper and a pencil. You're going to be using markers later and maybe a Sharpie or a black pen. So what I want you to do is practice on a piece of paper drawing some ovals. Or this is what we call an ellipse. So when you're drawing anything round, it needs to be an ellipse. Now, I know that sounds funny, but like, let's say if I take this, this circle. Okay, so this is some tape. Now watch what, it's a circle, right? Everybody sees that, but watch what happens when I turn it sideways. See? It turns into an ellipse. And the less you can see of the circle, the smaller the ellipse becomes. So one of the things that people do is they draw a circle like that straight across, and really it needs to be an ellipse, unless it's right at your eye level. But that's a little complicated. Well, we'll just go ahead and begin by practicing some ellipses. This is something you can work on, but we did ovals when we were drawing faces, but you can just practice, and you want it to kind of go not to a point, but it gets smaller as it goes out. So you see how I'm just practicing making it. And of course we can draw softly, so then once we get it where we want it, we can choose the lines that we want. All right, you ready? Let's go ahead and grab our cards, and we'll move this out of the way. Now, feel free to do this on a bigger piece of paper if you want. We do the cards here at 4Kids, but any size will work. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the table or the background line. You see that line right there? So it's a little easier if you just go ahead and draw it. So this will be what the pot is sitting on. Well, I guess it's outside, right? So it's a rainbow, so it's outside. So this is the horizon line. Okay, now the pot is basically going to be right here. So I can draw in a circle of where it's going to be. You with me so far? So this is all I'm doing, is composing my picture very lightly. Now, the top of the pot is going to be right here. So we want the rainbow to be fitting in it. So I draw a line across where I want the top to go. And just like we learned before, this is central axis. And there you are. That's the top of my pot. Now from here, I can draw another one. And this will be the lid of the rim of my pot. Notice I just keep going until I get it where I want it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because some of y'all are little. Just I thought it'd be fun to learn why we draw it in this way. So the inside of the pot is going to come from this line. So that part won't show, but I can go ahead and I'm going to do a kind of a curve here. And we do want it to be symmetrical. So the main thing here, it doesn't really matter exactly the shape of the pot, but you do want to try to make it be the same on both sides. And it's going to come to that point right there. Not this point, this point. So sometimes you draw what you can't see, so you know where what you can see should go. All right, easy. Now, let's put a reflection on it. So this would be like the highlight on the pot right there. Now, super easy. We are going to begin to make our rainbow. So we do want to try to fit it in here. And so I'm going to come all the way over to here. And then I will we need to have, let's see, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So we're going to use blue as light blue and indigo is dark blue and violet. So that we need to have 7. So let's see if we can fit 7. So there's red. And I did look it up. Red is always on the top in a rainbow. Orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Okay. Did I do that right? Let's see how many I have on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's right. Now, super easy. All we have to do is start to erase some of these lines, and then we can color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and you can use a fat Sharpie, skinny Sharpie, whatever you want. I'm using the fat one, or you can use a black pen if you want. And all I'm going to do here is draw the top of my pot. Now look, see all that part we drew back there? We're not drawing that because the rainbow's in front of it. So that's some of our space techniques that we're learning, is size, placement, and overlap. So we just draw what's in front of the rainbow, not what's behind it. And that is how we make it look like it's sitting here in real space, which it obviously isn't because we're drawing it. But these are all techniques that artists learn, tricks that they use to create things that look like as if they could actually be real, even though they're not. And you don't have to really erase where you're going to put your black, because the Sharpie easily covers over all your pencil marks. But you'll see why I'm doing this first here in just a minute. Now, one thing that's good to do is take your time on coloring in the black, because if you do, then you can make sure you cover up all the white specks. And that's something that's going to make a big difference. Now, a lot of my kids do this. Well, then you end up going over the same thing over and over and still have white specks, see? So I still have white specks. So it's better just to do it carefully. And that way you don't waste your time covering the same black over each other. So that's what I recommend anyway. But you do want to get rid of all that white. Let's see if I did it. Pretty good? Not bad. Now this right here, I can make it a little bit thinner. And there we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with our erasing here. So we're going to erase, we're going to leave the lines in between the rainbow. These long lines. But these skinny lines need to go, because when we draw with our marker, they're going to show through, and we do not want that. We don't want to make our rainbow look like it's cut in half. Now this looks like a bad eraser. Sometimes these erasers get old and they're not that good. Like, say they marked up my page. Here's a good one. So that's a good thing we can learn from this, is to make sure that you test. See, I tested this one. Look, boom. That's a terrible eraser. It's no good. So a lot of these erasers are cheap to begin with, but then when they get old, they're no good. No good for use. All right, so now we're also going to erase these pot lines that are behind our rainbow. There we go. Now we can worry about erasing the other lines around the pot after we put the rainbow in. Okay, you with me? Can you see this okay? Let me hold it up closer for you. All right, there you go. That is what we're going for. So, like I said earlier, you want to go ahead and have red, Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, so blue, indigo, violet. And those are our 7 colors. And remember, the red needs to go on the top. So that's always the way you're going to see a rainbow. And it's kind of complicated as to why, but we'll just go with the fact that it always is. Okay? So remembering that this is part of the electromagnetic spectrum, which is the part we see is known as visible light. Oops, I'm drawing that one. All right, so notice what I do. I'm going to take my edge and make a thick line here. Now, I teach my students this all the time, and a lot of times they don't listen to me. And use your edge of your mark to draw to the edge of the other side of your line. It just makes it a lot easier. Don't try to go like this, because that's gonna give you a real choppy look. And rainbows are not choppy, right? They're pretty, they blend right from one color to the next. Kind of a smooth transition. So that's what we're going for here. All right, next we're going to have yellow. So this is a little review of what we learned before. And since we do want to make sure, especially on the yellow here, that we don't have any pencil lines showing, because once you put that marker on, remember, you can't erase, because then it's on top of your pencil lines. Okay, very good. Next, green. Now you'll also notice that the first colors that we did, red, orange, and yellow, are the hot colors. And in reality, they are on the heat side of the rainbow. Because on the other side of red is ultra red, and that is actually heat. So the hot colors are actually hotter. I've actually heard that a blind person can tell the difference between a swatch of red paint and a swatch of purple, because the red is physically hotter. Now, you and I probably can't do that, but it is a higher wavelength. All right, next, light blue. Now, it looks like I've kind of messed up a little bit here, so I can change this just a little to make it look better. And once you get it all together, even if it's a little bit wonky, it's going to look great. And the legend is, if you ever get to the bottom of the rainbow, you will find a pot of gold. But you can never get to the bottom of a rainbow, because all it is light reflecting off raindrops. So there is nothing to get to. But it's nice to think that a rainbow is supposed to be a sign of the promise that everything's going to be okay. So we can think about it in that way. In that way, it is a pot of gold. All right. So everything just about can be a symbol of something else, which a rainbow is. And a pot of gold could be a symbol too, right? It could be a symbol of riches or happiness. Whatever you want. Now, we are almost finished. So violet is our last color. Now notice that on this side, we do have the cool colors. And these are literally cooler colors. And there we go. Now, what you do to the background is up to you. First, we're going to make sure this dries a little bit. And then we're going to take our eraser and we're going to erase all these pencil lines from our sketching. Notice I didn't worry about it until now. Because we want to make sure we do a good job on keeping our surface clean and looking good. Now, if we want to make this look like it's outside, let's do this one outside. This one I made, what is this? Yep, you got it. It's a pattern. this time we'll pretend like it's actually outside, and I will draw green grass here. And for the sky, we can make the sky blue. Oops, this one's about to run out. You never know with these pens what they're going to do. I don't have another one sitting right here by me, so I'm going to plow through here. Pressing down hard. Another thing you can do if you have a pen like this and you don't have another one, you're like, oh geez, I need to get to the end of this project. Just put it in some water, or put some water on the tip, and it will activate, and you should be able to get some more color out of it. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I think I'm going to draw a little cloud here. So I'm going to make it like this is a cloud coming behind. And then, so I'm just going to have a little bit of blue sky at the top here. And I'm going to use light blue, because I don't want it to be a dark picture. It's supposed to be a kind of a happy picture. Notice how I'm using the side of my pen to do my coloring. I'm doing it carefully. And we're not scribbling. Scribbling is a very ineffective way of coloring because you just waste a lot of time. It seems like it's faster, but if you're trying to do a good job, you want to just be systematic about it. Now, there are times you do want to scribble, and that's like when you're sketching or doing gesture drawing of some type. You're drawing fast. All right, what do you think? Do you think we need to put a line around the, that might not hurt. Let's take a skinny one and put a line around this, just so we can bring that black into another area of the drawing. I'm not going to do it on the rainbow because I want the rainbow to be all color. All right, there is our Happy St. Patrick's Day picture. We have two different versions here, which is just to show you that you can take and turn the basic lesson into just about anything you want. The rainbow is the rainbow. But this is fun. I hope you enjoy the lesson and have a great Happy St. Patrick's Day. Bye now.